Hello mga Kakasyo Nation, I am Engineer JD. Today, we will discuss about multiple calculations using the colon operator. Let's get started. So in this example, multiple calculations are very useful technique in calculator techniques. You will see lots of Caltech books that use colon operators to be able to input multiple calculations, multiple equations in just one line, and then obtain all the results immediately. So as an example, a study conducted by an independent research firm reveals that the number of vehicular accidents per year for specific driving age groups is given by the table below. Estimate a driver age group at which the number of accidents per year is the highest. Now the table is shown below. So showing us two variables here, age X and the accidents per year, which is in Y. So there are three data values here, and we are to determine the estimate of the driver age group at which the number of accidents per year is highest. Let us now determine the equation in which this X and this Y are related. Basically, we need to correlate X to Y using regression. Now, based on its nature, so we are not given about the nature of this data, so we only here to assume first. So notice that at age 21, so the accidents is 130 per year, and then by age 25, the number of accidents has increased to 190 per year, and then by age 30, it's decreasing. It decreased to 165 accidents per year. So it's below, went up, and then goes down. What regression curve has that nature? And that is the quadratic regression. So that is y is equal to a plus bx plus cx squared, where x and y are these data values, and then a, b, and c are real numbers that we need to determine using regression. So let us now enter quadratic regression, and to do that, let us input mode. Let's go to reg mode. So mode, and then another mode, option 2, which is the reg mode or the regression analysis mode. Now, in regression analysis mode, there are multiple regression curves that we can use in many regression applications. So the first one is the linear regression, the linear curve. Next is the logarithmic regression. Then the natural exponential regression. And then if we press the right key, there's more. There are three more here. The power regression, the inverse or the reciprocal regression, and then the one that we will use in this problem, the quadratic regression. So let's press 3, and now we have this empty screen. Next step is to input the data values. Now, unlike SD mode, which is only one value and then frequency, here we will input two values for X and Y. So first, let's input 21X and then 130Y. And because the value of N or the frequency is not given in this data, then we will assume it's 1. So no need to input the frequency. So let's input 21. And then to input the Y, let's input comma. So comma 113. So that's how we input each line. So X first, and then comma, and then Y, and then M plus. So like before in SD mode, let's press M plus. So now it is now stored in the calculator. Then we do that same process in the other data sets. So we have 25 comma 190, and then M plus, and then 30 comma 165, and then M plus again. So now we have stored the values in this calculator. Now the results here show that N is equal to 3, which is true because there are only 3 data sets here, data values. Now if we press down, we will be shown the value of X1, which is 21, and it's this one, X1 is 21. So this is number 1, so this one here is X1. And then if we press down key again, we will be shown the value of Y1. So this is Y1 equals 130. And then if we press down, we will be shown the frequency of the first data value. In this case is 1 because there is no frequency inputted. So its default to be 1. Its N1 is 1. Now for the second data value, so let's continue pressing the down key. We have the second X value, so that's 25, and then pressing down key again, we will be shown the Y value. The Y2 is 190, and then pressing down again, we will be shown the frequency 2 value. N2 is equal to 1. And finally, for the third data set, let's go down again. So we will be shown X3. X3 is 30, and then down again, Y3. So Y3 is equal to 165, and then lastly the value of N3, so which is frequency 3, is also equal to 1. And then if we press the down key again, we'll go back to X1 as before. If you want changes to this data, you can go to any of this line and then input the value that you will use to change it. So that's how we input the data values. Next, the problem states that we are to estimate the driver age group at which the number of accidents per year is highest. Take note, highest. So if we recall the regression curve, so y is equal to a plus bx plus cx squared. So that's the equation. To get the highest value, if we recall from calculus, we need to get the first derivative. So let's get the derivative of that one. The derivative is 0 plus b plus 2c, and then equate that to 0, and then may x here. So derivative of x squared is 2x. So now we have b plus 2cx equals 0. So solving for x in terms of the other variables, we will get negative b divided by 2c. So the location of the maximum value occurs at x is equal to negative b over 2c, where b and c are regression coefficients, b and c, in the calculator. Now, after that, after determining the value of x, we just plug in this value of x to the original regression equation. So, leading us to two steps. First is to calculate the value of x, and the second step is to calculate a plus bx plus cx squared by plugging in x to that. Now, in terms of one single line, that's where the colon operator comes in. So, we can write this equation as x is equal to negative b divided by 2c. So, that is the first equation. And then, we input the colon operator. So, that colon symbol right here. And then input the second step, which is this expression, a plus bx plus cx squared. And this is how we calculate multiple operations using the colon operator for this problem. So let's do that for this problem. So let's press AC first, and then let's input everything. So let's start with x. So alpha, and then x, and then alpha, and then calc equals. So notice that you can do that. So that's one warning, because you need to go to stat mode, not in stat mode but in comp mode. So you need to go to comp mode. So let's write that, not in SD or reg mode. So you cannot do that here, but go to comp mode. So you need to go to comp mode to be able to do this. Now, to be able to do that, first you need to store the values of A, B, and C into the storage variables A, B, and C respectively. So first, let's determine the values of A, B, and C. So that's our first objective. So to do that, let's go shift, and then 2. So that S var right here, 2. So S var, and then let's find that A, B, and C. So press left and right. So you will see this. That's A, B, and C right here. So let's start with A. So let's press A, and then equals. That's the value of A. Now, unfortunately, storage variables do not work in stat mode. So, you need to write them in paper, for example. Or if you're pro, you can memorize them. So, let's write it first here. So, negative 1351.666667. So, that's the first one. Now, next, let's calculate B. So, shift and then 2. And then, let's go to the third screen and then press 2 to calculate B. So, equals 117.222222. And then, lastly, AC, shift 2 again. And then, let's go to the third screen and then press 3 for the value of C. And then, equals, which is negative 2.22222222 and then 2. So we have now the three values of the regression coefficients A, B, and C. So now let us now go to the comp mode. So mode and then 1 for the comp mode, and then store these values into the storage variables A, B, and C. So let's start with the first one. Negative 1351.666667. Store them to variable A. So here we have stored it. And the next is variable B. So 117.222222. Store it in variable B. So we have stored it in variable B. And finally, the value of variable C, negative 2.22222222, and then store it in variable C. Okay, so we are now done inputting and storing it to variables A, B, and C. So finally, we can now input the colon operator and multiple expressions. So here, so let's input alpha x. Then alpha equals. So notice now that we are in comp mode, you can now do equals. So negative B, so alpha and then B divided by 2 divided by alpha and then C. So again, both divided by, because both 2 and C are in the denominator. Next is the colon operator. So the colon operator can be accessed using the input alpha and then integral. So for the colon operator, so alpha and then integral. So that's how we access that. And then next, we input the second expression. We have alpha and then A and then plus and then alpha and then B, alpha and then X plus alpha and then C, alpha and then X and then squared. So we have now inputted the second expression. So that's the complete input. So that's this. That's the complete input. Now we press equals. So the value here, so that's the first value. So that represents the value of X at which the obtained accidents per year is a maximum. So that's one. And then if we press again the equal sign, you will be shown the second value, or the value of the second expression, so which gives us the maximum number of accident per year. And that's it. So that's how we do multiple operations using the colon operator. So you will see, if you have your Caltech books, you will see, for example, Mohr circle has this calculator technique. Calculation of radius of curvature is also this. Calculation of, for example, open channel flow is also this one. So it's very useful when you want to input many lines of expressions into just one line of input and then calculating the one single equal sign. And that's it for our video today. So thank you very much, Kakashu Nation, and see you in the next video.